Hey folks, we are back with Kokcho Tamil. We haven't heard Kokcho Tamil in a while. This track came, it was released a few weeks ago. It's called Urudhi, sung by Sanjay Subrahmanyam and Arifullah Shah Rafaee. Right? I have heard this song. I think Hamad has heard this song as well. We both individually loved it, but we wanted to talk about it together, right? We wanted to listen to it
Yeah.
together and see how we enjoy it, right? And what do we find interesting? Why did we love it? What parts did we love? So yeah, should we get into it?
Yep. Can't wait.
All right, let's do it. Three, two, one. Wait a second. I need to open the link. All right. Three,
Okay.
two, one, play.
Coke Studio Tamil. Subscribe now.
The notes that you can play on Veena
Veena.
is right something else.
இன்றி வேறேது உறுதி நீ இன்றி வேறேது உறுதி
I'm in total awe of Sanjay's vocals.
யாதுமாகி என் யாவுமாகி யாவுமாற என் யாகமாகி ஏகமாகி என் ஏகமானதுவே
And notice his body language.
யாதுமாகி என் யாவுமாகி யாவுமாற என் யாகமாகி ஏகமாகி என் ஏகமானதுவே யாயாகி சேயாகி தீயாகி நீராகி ஊடாகி விந்தையானதுவே உண்மையானதுவே நீ இன்றி வேறேது உறுதி நீ இன்றி வேறேது உறுதி
Oh.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
வேறேது உறுதி நீ இன்றி வேறேது உறுதி
Oof. Incredible. The command.
ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை
The acknowledgement.
ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை உன்மேல் ஆனை
This string section is adding a lot of gravity.
உன்னை பிரிந்து இனி இருக்க மாட்டேன் உன்னை என்னை வேறு என்று இனி பிரிக்க மாட்டேன் உன்மேலானை உன்மேலானை உன்மேலானை
throughout the season, the use of backing vocals have been on point.
On point.
Brilliant use, right?
Wow.
Goosebumps.
One of the best outros. One of the best outros.
Oof.
One of the best outros.
Oof. You cannot not marvel at Sanjay's vocals. I mean,
Simply.
the command, the skill, the the experience on display. On display, it was just a showcase of
Left you
mastery.
speechless.
I mean, absolute mastery, absolute mastery, absolute mastery. He is the master of his craft. The first time I heard it, I mean, the first few times I heard it, of course, I was awestruck with his voice, and then I looked him up. Of course, I wasn't introduced to him. I didn't know him, right? And then I looked him up on YouTube and elsewhere, and man, his mastery is, I think he has been acknowledged, and he has
Yeah.
all the recognition in the industry already. Of course, we coming out of a different region, different language, everything wouldn't know such artists, such gems, right? But what mastery, what mastery, and what I was
Absolutely.
totally mesmerized by is his body language, right? When I mean, this song was very Sufi like, it was a Sufi song. The essence, the philosophy was, connection with divinity and all. But when you can sing with this skill, with this, this precision, this sophistication, while having a smile on your face,
Ah, effortless.
right? He was sitting down, and it was so effortless while having a smile on your face. It tells you something. He doesn't break a sweat.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
on his fingertips, and this is where I marvel, because
Such
it
calming
leaves you
expressions.
speechless.
Absolutely.
Leaves you
Absolutely.
speechless, right? The charm that he had while sitting there having a smile, but executing all of that with precision. Yeah,
Ah.
I can
The,
just sit
I
there
think
and
we will just fall short of adjectives.
absolutely
The composure, the poise that he had,
the poise, the
um,
grace,
the grace that he had while singing. I mean, you are right. Just
that
mm,
elegance. I mean, totally, I was falling in love with all the aspects that he had, right? Even at one point, after listening to it multiple times, watching it multiple, because I want to watch this performance, watching it multiple times, I fell in love with the kurta he was wearing, like how beautiful that was, so you have
absolutely.
these personalities where, because of their charm, their charisma, everything around them lights up.
The
And
aura
this
that
was the
they
case
create.
with exactly, they have this space around them that just elevates because of their yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm totally in love with his vocals, the way he has sung is, the composition, the melody, uh, every single thing, the way he executed those notes. I was just, I
It's so
where do we
amazing,
begin?
actually. It's so amazing, actually, because in the beginning, when Veena starts, the notes that were on the Veena, he was actually singing on those notes,
Yeah,
right? So,
so this is the thing, right? So there are certain Eastern instruments that can execute some notes which can't be executed on the Western instruments,
yep,
right?
yep, hmm,
There are I might be wrong, but as far as I know, there are sub notes like that can be executed on Eastern instruments, and to execute that vocally with that much poise and ease, and again
absolutely
on top of that his voice itself,
beautiful.
this very unique texture that his voice had, right? Yeah, yeah, I
Uh, I
couldn't stop
mean,
marveling.
we could do a separate episode on Sanjay Subrahmanyam's work. He's so, I mean, I completely agree with you. The first time I did not see the video. I just listened to the audio of this particular track when it was released. I was working and then I played the song in the background, and I couldn't help but just to stop and listen to the entire song just because of what I was hearing. And then when I watched the video, I completely agree with you. You mentioned during the video, just observe his body language, and I would urge our viewers to also just see the kind of body language that he has throughout this particular track. Um, I would also just want to talk about the arrangement. I mentioned that this is
Yes,
probably one of the
yes.
best outros that I have listened to. But overall, if you from right from the first note till the end, the song keeps you hooked. And I mean, credit goes to Sean Roldan, who is basically the brains behind this Coke Studio Tamil season as well. The most amazing part for me, apart from Sanjay Subrahmanyam, was actually the choir. So when we talk about
Yes.
the I remember we did one song from Wind of Change called Anando Loke,
Yeah.
and it was also a song about spirituality, divinity, and whenever you are touching that subject, the choir plays an important role. And here in this particular track as well, the entire choir team was just on point throughout because they didn't stop at any stage. If you notice at a certain point on song where Sanjay Subrahmanyam ends and the Veena starts to play in the background, the scale suddenly shifts. They are singing the same line, but the scale is completely shifted by the choir, and it is so subtle and so meticulously done.
So
I
brilliantly
would
done.
brilliantly done, brilliantly
So
done.
So the we were talking about the choirs and the backing vocals, the harmonies throughout this season from Tamil. I mean, this is the first Coastal Tamil
Yep.
season, right? But
Yeah.
the way it has been utilized was
Yeah.
brilliant, was brilliant from the beginning. But this track, the way it has been done, is just amazing. One of the best use of choir that I've heard. The arrangement was as well. I think of this particular track was the best. At least I liked it because
Yeah. Yeah.
my leaning towards Eastern instruments, the use of Veena, how beautifully
Oh.
done, but not overdone as well, right? So the use was perfectly fitting. It wasn't given. It was given a lot of space, but the equally with Sanjay and Arifullah, that this
Yeah.
trio, the main elements were set up brilliantly, right? Again, while you talk about brilliance of execution, you also, I would also appreciate the brilliance of simplicity, right? So nothing flashy, nothing flashy. You
No,
look around the
absolutely.
set, you
Absolutely.
look around the musicians, and this simplicity, the in their wardrobe, in their makeup, in their presence, and
Everything.
how it's so, focus and on the all the correct details, you know so put in effort and value where it should have been put. So,
That's
I mean, we have been
very well
talking
put.
about since the beginning. We heard Sagavasi, Vendum, right?
Hmm.
Vendum, and this one.
Hmm.
Everything has been kept so simple. All the musicians, they are like they are. I'm not sure. It looks like they are doing their own wardrobe, but what they
Hmm.
bring to the table is their art. They
Art.
right,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and execution and brilliant execution. No, there was, at least for me, there was no holes in any of the transitions. So, from
None.
Veena to Sanjay to Arifullah, back to, then they had this duet at the end, the
At the end.
beautiful outro, the crescendo, the build up,
Hmm.
seamless, the whole track, beautifully executed.
Everything about this particular track, absolutely. The
Yeah, but
execution was
again,
on point.
for me, I mean, I love seeing Veena. We have also seen another instrument, which is called Sagar
Hmm.
Veena, if you remember.
Yep.
Sagar
Yep.
Veena, right? Or different
Hmm.
variants of Veena. So, one of which is
Hmm.
Sagar Veena that we have seen in Par Chanade,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
The Nouri's mother,
Mother,
Noor
yeah.
Zehra.
Ali
Noor
Nuran,
Zehra
yeah.
is
Hmm.
playing,
Right.
yeah, she's playing a Sagar Veena, beautiful instrument, that one as well. And
Hmm.
this one, how beautifully played, how beautifully done, not overdone. It wasn't like it was overpowering, overshadowing anything else,
Yep. Yeah.
right?
In the
But
right quantity.
exactly. I mean, but man, for me, it just became everything about
Sanjay
Sanjay
Subrahmanyam.
Subrahmanyan. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would
Stole the show.
actually want some more recommendations from you since you are now going to dig up his work. So you could actually suggest me some of his work that he's doing.
The thing is that why, for me, I like modern stuff as well. I like electronic music also. I, what I especially like is the blend of Eastern instruments with electronic music.
Hmm.
That's my most favorite these days, right? And
Hmm.
Sanjay was performing in such a setting
Hmm.
on Sanjay's own channel, right? It's mostly very very classical, very
Classical.
very
Hmm.
classical, and we can someday listen to it together, enjoy it together, right? Marvel
Hmm.
at him again, right? But man, this performance opened up so many doors. So also the style of singing, right, is something very very new. So
Hmm.
it has been Sangeeta Kalanidhi.
Hmm.
It's mentions here, right? So the
Hmm.
style of singing is also something very new to me. Of course, we have heard the style in Bollywood, and South
Hmm.
Indian movies as well, right?
Hmm.
Uh, in the background, subconsciously, but to be on display forefront, yeah,
Hmm.
it has opened a lot of doors for me to
Yeah.
explore.
It's a good point that you brought up, and I was also thinking, listening to this particular track, that there are certain kind of singers who can drive the entire message on their own, and Sanjay Subrahmanyam actually feels like one of them. When we talk about the songs of spiritual genre,
Mm-hmm.
and why I'm saying that, for instance, we had one song called "Wahi Khuda Hai," where Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, his voice, the way he was singing was actually so comforting, and the way that he was uh, sending that message across just through his voice, his presence, you actually tend to forget what is happening in the background, what instruments are being played. You are just immersed in the vocals, just put into trance because of such masterful skills that you see. And same goes with Sanjay Subrahmanyam as well. When I first listened to this particular track, I was just focused on what he was doing and how he was doing it. But then after listening to it multiple times, I actually went on to appreciate the arrangement, the choir, and all the things that were happening in the background. So yeah, such singers do have certain um, how should we put it, the skills that you get just shifted on their prowess and nothing else. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
so
mean, very
thanks to
overwhelming.
Coach Tamil. Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks to Coach Tamil, we get to know, I mean, we get to introduce to such styles of singing
styles of
as well
singing. Hmm.
as the artists. So, for example, Sean
Hmm.
Roldan, we heard him
Hmm.
in Ventum,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
I personally I didn't know about him, but
Me
now
neither. Yeah.
his work, his presence on the stage, his vocals, also his compositions, his arrangements is telling me that man, he is master of a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
in future, I would be on a lookout that whenever I see Sanjay Dutt,
Absolutely.
okay, this is something worth hearing.
Absolutely. Probably if there is a music where he has composed the background music, I'll just watch the movie to experience his work, maybe.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up here. A very interesting song. I think we have not covered one song from Coke Studio Tamil this season. Probably, I might be wrong. There's one more song that we have to listen, but we will jump to it in future. Keep watching this space and share recommendations with us. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.